Hello and welcome, and I hope you've had a great week so far, wherever you are in the world. Right, let's talk about email today because let's face it, most marketing emails are terrible and they're not even slightly ineffective or even a little bit weak. They are just not great. And they're too long, they're too vague, they're full of corporate language, and they're written for the sender and they're not written for the person receiving them. And that's the problem, because the way people read email today has completely changed. People are busy, they're checking emails between meetings, they're skimming messages on their phone, they're scanning subject lines in seconds. And when someone opens your email, they are subconsciously asking one question: is this relevant to me? And if the answer is no, the email is gone, it is deleted, which means the challenge for marketers isn't about writing more emails, it's about writing better emails. So in this video, I want to break down what actually makes an email work. And we're going to talk about what marketers should be emailing about, how long emails should actually be, how to write the perfect hook, how subject lines really work, the difference between marketing and sales emails, and how nurture sequences turn attention into real conversations. Because when email is done properly, it is one of the most powerful growth engines in your business. What marketers should actually email about are things like, is where actually a lot of people get stuck. They're sitting with a blank page and they think, what am I supposed to write? But good marketing emails usually fall into 5 really simple categories: insights, observations, mistakes, frameworks, and proof. Insights are things you're seeing in the market. Maybe customer behavior is changing. Maybe buying cycles are getting longer. Maybe a marketing channel has suddenly stopped performing. Your email becomes a place where you say, here's what you're seeing right now. Observations are slightly different. This is where you spot patterns. Maybe companies are investing in the wrong channels. Maybe their messaging is confusing. Maybe their marketing strategy is far too complicated. Observation emails work well because they show you understand the market. And when people feel understood, they listen. Mistake emails also perform incredibly well. People love learning what not to do. For example, 3 mistakes companies make when hiring a marketing agency, 5 mistakes businesses make with lead generation, or the biggest mistake companies make with their website messaging. Those emails feel really practical, and practical content gets read. Framework emails are another powerful format. This is where you teach a model or a way of thinking. Maybe it's a decision framework, maybe it's a marketing tool, maybe it's a structured process you use with clients. Frameworks build that authority because they show that you've thought deeply about the problem. And finally, proof, which is so important. Things like case studies, results, real outcomes, what happened, what changed, and what results followed. If you rotate between those 5 types of emails, you are never going to run out of content. How long now, and we're going to talk about this, should your emails be? Because this is where many marketers get it wrong. Most business emails are too long, and long emails are dangerous, and they run the risk of ending up in the bin because busy people decide whether to read something in seconds. And if an email looks too long, people assume it's going to take effort, and effort usually loses. For most marketing emails, you're looking at roughly 100 to 200 words. Short enough to read quickly, but long enough to deliver something really useful. Sales emails are often even shorter, sometimes 50 to 100 words. Because the goal of a sales email is not to explain everything. The goal is to start a conversation. The power of the hook, and this is something that is so important because this is what is going to get people to read your email. The hook is going to get your reader to keep reading, or they're going to delete the email within 2 sentences. A strong hook usually does one of two or three things. It highlights a problem, challenges an assumption, or it reveals something interesting. For example, you could highlight a specific problem, something like, most companies are losing leads because their website messaging is unclear. Or you may be challenging an assumption. Most people think more website traffic solves marketing problems. It usually doesn't. Or you might reveal something interesting. We've noticed something unusual happening with the B2B lead generation process recently. Curiosity keeps people reading, and curiosity is the fuel of great marketing. So none of this matters if your email never gets opened, and that's where your subject lines come in. The purpose of a subject line is really simple. Make someone curious enough to open the email. And we're not talking about tricking people or over exaggerating. We just want to spark some curiosity. And good subject lines often reference a problem, a pattern, or a question. So for example, most marketing strategies fail for one reason, or something interesting we're seeing within B2B marketing, or it could be something really simple like a quick thought about your website messaging. The best subject lines feel human, not automated. They're not corporate, just natural. Marketing emails, for example, versus sales emails. And what's the difference between the two? They're doing two completely different jobs. Marketing emails build familiarity. Sales emails create conversations. Marketing is about value, sales is about momentum. A marketing email might share an insight, a lesson, or something interesting you've learned working with clients. It positions you as someone who understands the market. A sales email, on the other hand, is usually structured in three simple parts: relevance, value, and next step. And why you're reaching out, what you help companies achieve, and whether it's worth a conversation. That's it. Short, clear, and human. And if someone clicks a marketing email, sales should follow up using the same principles: short, relevant, contextual. You don't want to have long corporate emails that kill the momentum. You want to move the conversation on. The next thing we're going to talk about is nurturing, because most businesses expect people to buy far too quickly. Someone reads an email, maybe they click something, but they're not ready yet, and that's completely normal. Most buying decisions take time, and this is where nurture really comes into its own. Your job is to stay visible, stay useful, and stay relevant. That might mean sending one email per week, sharing insights or observations and lessons from the market. Over time, that is going to build you trust and authority. And when the timing is right, people already know who you are and what you do. The next thing I'm going to talk about is tools that marketers can use. And there's so many tools out there, but the technology is there to help you do this consistently. So you've got platforms like HubSpot, MailChimp, ActiveCampaign, or MailerLite. And then you've got tools like Apollo for outreach. And they allow you to manage lists, track engagement, and automate nurture sequences. But remember this, tools don't fix bad messaging. Clear thinking fixes bad messaging. And here's my final thought. And this is a simple test for your next email. Do you think it's relevant to your audience? Is it clear? And is it worth opening? And if the answer is yes, you're on the right track. Even get somebody else to have a look at it. Because when email works properly, it stops feeling like marketing and starts feeling like a useful conversation. And that's when email becomes incredibly powerful. If you find this useful, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next week.